Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today's word is fish. When I was very young, up until probably high school, probably mid-high school time, we'd always get like goldfish. We'd always have at least two goldfish. We never bought one, we'd always have two. That's full. And I'd always have like a set name for one of them, and the other one I'd name just on the fly. And then it came to a point where I stopped naming them both and just named the one. And I left it a few months before I named they'd both have the same name. So basically, I'll break it down for you. I'd have one that was called Jaws all the time. Jaws was one of my favourite films as a kid. I loved Jaws, and for some reason, one fish would always outlive the other one, and I'd always think in my head that the fish had been eaten by the other fish, so I called it Jaws. So I'd always have like Jaws and another name, and then I stopped naming this and I just started naming them both Jaws, Jaws 1, Jaws 2, and when one died I'd be like, that's the main Jaws, and it'd always grow to like probably that big, but in my head it was like this big. So yeah, I always had two goldfish, and they were called Jaws. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one, is what I'd be saying if that was what this premise of this video was about. So anyone that was put off by this, we're now going to talk about the proper point of this video. See how many people stick around for this. Don't just go, fucking goldfish. So I always view myself as a very good big fish in a small pond. I, not just in like a theatrical sense or anything, or even like, what do you call it, a learning sense, like a schooling sense, but like in general. So, I feel like I'm a very good barista, but I always feel like I'm not a good enough supervisor. When I trained up to be a supervisor and then I dropped it, was because I mentally don't think that I'm good enough to be at that point, and I don't think I was ready for it. Personally, I don't know if that had changed now if I was given the same opportunity. But I'm always willing to try and give it a go, and that's my thing at the minute. I'm trying to push myself to do things, put myself outside my comfort zone and succeed and thrive. Stop being the big fish in a small pond and try and thrive in a bigger pond. Try and thrive in an ocean. Like this sort of like feeling has been like distilled in me almost, I suppose, from school. So I'll get named roles at school, but then ever since I've been outside of school, I haven't really done much, like name character wise. Yeah, so I always feel like that's because I'm a very good big fish in a small pond, but now the pond's getting bigger, I'm not as good as I could be or should be. And it really made me think back, this was a few years ago, but it really made me think that I wasn't good enough and I wasn't talented enough, and really should consider something else. But I disagreed with myself at that point, and I was like, no, I can do this. I can do better than this. And that's why I'm trying to. This is why I'm here. And I'm going to learn how to be a teacher, and if push comes to shove, I'll become a teacher, which has always been something that's been playing on my mind anyway. It's not something that I'm like, oh, got it, well, I'll settle for teaching. I've always thought about being a drama teacher. People seem to think I'll be a very good drama teacher, and I enjoy working with kids, and love drama. So yeah, I can see where people are coming from. So it's a possibility that is in my head. We'll see where it goes. So yeah, I have like big fish, small pond syndrome, and I can't seem to get out of that mindset of not being able to get out of the small pond comfortably, and I'm hoping that can change, and I'm trying to push that to change. But I'm one of these people that as soon as I have like a tiny little setback, I really struggle with that, and then I don't seem to be able to push past it, and I'll just shrivel and shrink and compress myself down to a point where I just give it up. I just throw it away and just go, not for me, and I give up. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to try and get to a point where I'm like, okay, this is not going to push me down, this is not going to put me in a box. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to become better than I have been in the past. I'm going to push myself to that point. That is the aim. Fingers crossed that these 3 years teach me how to do that, or give me the confidence to do that in myself. I think I always put it down to the fact that I don't have the experience. Well, now I'll have the experience. So we'll see where it goes. And hopefully that branches out into my personal life as well, with like work and things like that. If I decide to go, well, if I get a job as a barista or anything else, and they offer me a higher position, hopefully that's going to keep me focused on keeping my more important role in a business. Yeah. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again tomorrow.